Sorry guys.
Instead of an old five man and a big six scale. For your safety, remember this is driving. For whatever reason you decide to take them up, you can have to talk about it well before you do it. Hold on tight. I want to look for more driving. The long said done. Step back and enjoy the day. We'll have a few laps to do right. But please don't take any of there. It's only a bit of light-handed entertainment. And I won't begin.
And then we should go.
The first part of it, straight ahead on the right. That's Belfast access to the leading area. Followed by WC bar and 1865. The tribute to the main conference and Volvo.
Wait,
But at least one meter to the right and 1 meter back. And that's because it's both and Marcy Reed went back. And 2002, and I've got them over there. I don't know where you go. I have brought them out of the money. I had 4 questions. I don't know if you're the right time. Belfast by John Kindness. Each given that fresh tells a different story of Belfast. Now there is a river folk that if you kiss the big fish, you get its knowledge and its wisdom. I reckon if you're caught kissing that, it shows you how daft you want to begin with. But we're leaving County Antrim and we're heading into County Down. And we're doing so by way of the Queen Elizabeth Bridge. I want you to look straight ahead and you'll see the big red building. That's the SSE Arena. That's the Millennium Project for the centre of Belfast. The biggest new communities together. But unfortunately, there must have been too much wine on the table. Because the sport that chose is ice hockey. People in Belfast can't even stand up to this game. Never mind play ice hockey. So they've got the players from Canada and America. And with great success. So the next problem was thinking of a name. And somebody must have been kissing that big fish. Because he come up with the Belfast Volvo. Seriously, Belfast is Volvo. Thankfully they finally settled in the Belfast Giants after the mythical giant Thunder Joe. And the simply where Titanic was launched in 1911. Over 140,000 people turned up to see Titanic was launched. What a waste of before. And that's what the HMS are like. HMS Starlight is a Class C light cruiser from the First World War. Fought in the Battle of Crumlin in 1916. It's the last remaining ship. That's the HMS Starlight just to your left. Now you're right next to that, the Belfast, the City Tours and that's been nicknamed HMS number 1. The 100 moved to Crumlin to Belfast in 1924. Coming up to the next stop, and that's the Titanic Spirit. It's an automatic stop, so won't stop. If you're there, you see the two large yellow flags. They're Samuel and Goliath. Belfast Food Ship Building Casting Cranes. Brought to Belfast in 1945 and 1950. Straddle used to be the largest dry dock in Europe. So look at the H and W at the very top of the cranes. They stand for hello and well. They stand for Holland and well. But people of Belfast like to tell you, they stand for hello and well. Pay for our own ticket. That's the kind of people I would invite them away. And there's a mother on, and she wouldn't even pay for her $3. Have you looked up, seen some stair folks? I'm just saying there's a couple inside. A year after Queen Victoria visited Belfast. And it was believed when Queen Victoria visited Belfast that she was going to grant them city status. But she only coming up on your left at the end of the bridge is a beacon of hope, symbolising peace and harmony between the two communities. When you bring something like that to Belfast, it gets nicknames, and that has a few. Janet on the Planet, the Doll in the Ball. entirely from glass. And if you see anything built from glass in Belfast, you'd be assured it was after the Good Friday Agreement in 1998. On the right, the Royal Courts of Justice, and they contain the High Court. That wall is 6 foot thick with reinforced steel to protect it from car bombs, the choice of destruction back then. Coming up is our next stop, and that's the St George's Market, open Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Voted the best indoor market with the Indoor Market Association of the British Isles. As we approach the lights, I want you to look over to your right, and you're going to see a big yellow building, a big square building with yellow stripes. That's Belfast City Hospital. And a few years back, it opened a cancer research unit, and thankfully with great success. But due to its success, Prince Charles, as he was known back then, decided to come over and officially open the building and unit. Now, being a great lover of his architect and buildings, told the staff it was one of the ugliest buildings he'd ever seen. And they were hurt and took back with us. Now coming up is our next stop, and that's for Lavery's Bar, the oldest family-owned bar in Belfast, established in 1854. And it claims to pouring over 1,000 pints of Guinness a day. Now that doesn't say much for the people of Belfast and their drinking habits. But you as an individual can pay to get there and pour your own pint of Guinness, and then receive a t-shirt that says you did so. That's Lavery's on your left. Coming up is our next stop, and that's for the beautiful Queen's University Botanical Gardens and Ulster Museum. Again, everyone on, please ring the bell and stamp your feet. Okay? Queen's University, coming up on your left, was opened in 1849, designed and built by Charles Lanyon. If you look from above, it's the shape of the letter E for education. Over 25,000 students attend Queen's, with over 10,000 coming from outside Northern Ireland. But folks, your driver and guide attended Queen's. I'm very proud of it. Okay, it was only to use the toilet and I got through out. And to your left is a beautiful botanical garden.
Yeah, best day ever.
Somebody's put donuts. Then Penny's put wet.
What street is that?
Coming up is our next stop,
Brilliant.
and that's the Malone Lodge Hotel.
It's brilliant.
He's what, not Malone
I
Lodge?
bought them out.
Yeah, got them out on the fridge back. Shelley, what street is that here?
We're going to take a right turn, and we're turning on to Eglantine Avenue.
What street?
And Eglantine Avenue is where most of the students
It's a
It's in the
would
green.
live that attended Queen's University.
Says street.
But I want you to listen very carefully,
Say what
folks.
street?
I'm going to tell you a wee story. We're going to go up this road. Malone Lodge Hotel is coming up on your right hand side. Once we pass Malone Lodge Hotel, I want you to look immediately left to the first house, the first floor, with the second window in. Now I can see he's all looking at my monitor, we haven't reached there yet. But there's a young student lives there.
That's it, right.
You And every now and again, he takes a terrible desire to flash his bottom at tourists. I can see he's all looking now. There's a lady downstairs with binoculars out. But I was doing the tour last year, and I passed the house,
Victoria Square.
and I heard this almighty scream. And I pulled the bus over, and I ran upstairs. And sure and behold, the young lad had flashed his bottom this day. An elderly lady had witnessed it and nearly fainted. Being the gentleman I am, I took the bus straight into stop number 1. I got her a seat off the bus and I gave her some fresh air. And I went out my way and out my own pocket, may I add, and got her a strong drink. And she did recover well.
If you look to the left of number 6, that's where it is. I don't know how long it's going to take to get there, depending on where you go. Yeah, because it's got all that big on left and then it was all big out on right as well, so just, yeah, I get to do it. Right. Stop number 6.
We've just turned on to Tate's Hargate. And Tate's Hargate is a major road and connected two of the communities together. We're going to head down Tate's Hargate and we're going to head into the Donegal Road area. But I want you to look to the right of the bridge and you'll see the lamppost with flags flying. You'll see the Union Jack, the flag of Great Britain, and you'll see the Ulster flag, the flag of Northern Ireland. They're there to dictate to you the kind of area you're coming into. And the area you're coming into is a Loyalist, Unionist, Protestant area, the village, on the right and left. So we're approaching the next set of lights. I want you to look to the lamppost to the right, and you'll see a plaque. UVF for Gordon Ulster. Welcome to Loyalist Village. Leaving you under no illusions of what kind of area you're coming into. When we go over to the other side of the Donegal Road, we'll leave the Unionist Loyalists behind and we'll go into the Republican Nationalist. You have the British flag, the Union Jack on this side of the road. Belfast pogroms, 1920 to 1922. That's the uprising. And if you put up any resistance to the uprising of the organisations, you will burn out your own home and more than likely executed. We have left the Gaeltacht quarter and come into uncultural land. Uncultural land is where the Irish language is taught and the Catholic Church on your right hand side. But look straight ahead to your right and you're going to see the big black and grey building. That's the Royal Victoria Hospital, simply known as the Royal. Consultants and surgeons from all over the world would have came there to practice and enhance their skills during the Troubles. Due to the amount of bullet wounds through shootings and loss of limbs through bombings. There was a famous man worked there during the Troubles, a man called Professor Partridge. And he was the sole inventor of the portable defibrillator that shocks your heart back to life. The next mural coming up is through the lights on your left. And this is the GPO office or the post office. I hope he's got the feel. Like I said, I think it's a selling point for black taxis. come through two sets of peace gates, and the peace gates were closed every night at 6 in the at night and opened again at 6 in the morning, and they were all closed manually. But look down to your left, and you'll see the only set of peace gates that's closed automatically with the press of a button. If you have your cameras ready again, we're going to take a right turn at the end of the road, and we're going to turn onto the Shanko. And Shanko in Irish means small church. But folks, as at this stage of the tour, I must remind you, innocent people were murdered on both sides of the divide. The best way to describe it is tit for tat. We're coming up to our next stop, and that's the Crumlin Road Jail and Courthouse. Again, everyone off, please ring the bell and strap your feet. We're going to take a right turn at the lights, and we're going to go into what they call Murder Mile. And I'll get in a bit more detail further down the tour. But I only want to say, for all the people sitting This is a stop for Crumlin Road Jail. Crumlin Road Jail ahead on the left was opened in 1845. The court on the right, 1850. Both designed and built by Charles Lanyon. By Charles Lanyon. And during the Troubles, the courthouse, the jail had three wings. One was for loyalists, one was for Republicans, and one was for ODCs. And ODCs, to me and you, ordinary decent criminals. The courthouse on the right, in the sad state of sin, that was a Diplock court. That was named after Lord Diplock. And he didn't believe in juries during the Troubles, because juries could be intimidated. So he was the sole judge and juror. And if he found you guilty, you were put straight down and under a tunnel under the road and up into the jail. Hence the saying, getting put down. Coming up on your left is a mater for the Mater Hospital. Thankfully now it doesn't matter what you call the mater. But during the Troubles, it was a dead giveaway of your religion. Now, I told you in the lights that we were turning on to the Crumlin Road, and it was called Murder Mile. And the reason being is a roundabout straight ahead. That's Carlisle Circus roundabout, an interface area. We are going down the road towards the city centre. If you were coming up the road from the city centre, depending which way you indicated, dictated whether you went home to bed or home in a coffin. If you come up and indicated left, you were a Protestant getting into the Shanko. If you come up and indicated right, you were a Catholic getting into the Antrim Road. Depending who was doing the shooting, depending whether you went home to bed or home in a coffin. 84% of the people killed there, taxi drivers trying to make a living. Coming up ahead on your left is our next stop, and that's for some